Good morning, y'all. I'm Catherine Ross of TheStreet. I'm here on the floor of the NYSE with Jim Cramer. Jim, let's talk about your real money column from this morning. And I want to quote a line directly from it, which is, you say that it's time for the Chinese to play it fair. Can you explain that?
So this was just a complete grenade. I'm doing it. All right. One country has unemployment going up. The other one has unemployment going down. One country has the worst growth in 28 years. The other one has the best employment growth in 40 years. One country is very worried about furloughing workers. The other country can't find workers. This is the difference between China and the United States. And if people would stop, I use the term mainstream media. I know that's a loaded term. But if I see one more person tell me that President Xi, the all-powerful leader of China, has got to win in the end because he plays the long game, I caution people, what was the long game? What was the long game for Andropov? What was the long game for Gorbachev? And the answer was Yeltsin. There is no long game for communism. There never will be, and there never has been. And I think that people start realizing that communism is not working right now in China. I'm not calling for regime change. I'm just saying that for more realistic appraisal, that the Chinese need to come to the table more than we do. Our market is doing fine. Our employment is terrific. We don't have a lot to lose. Now, you may say that the president is crazy. Well, that's even more dangerous for the Chinese.
Can you define what you mean by fair in this time?
No more joint ventures, no more stealing of our intellectual property, no more becoming a great country by making our country not a great country, no more dominance, hegemony, whatever you want to call it, no more Soviet versus United States. They want to play that Soviet Union game. That's a bad game to play with the United States. Now, the Soviet Union may have won World War II, and we did a lot to do it, and they lost 29 million people, and they were the great opponent of the Nazis, and I think that they were a great nation that was our ally, and then they turned on us. And how did that work? We were pushing the Chinese, pushing the world to be able to for them to join the World Trade Organization. We had some very specific things they had to do. They've gone against every single one of them. They've got to revert to the way they were, which is not hard, be a capitalist rotor country, and become our ally again. They cannot be our enemy. They must be our ally. And I think that these trade talks will make it so they're an ally because they have more to lose. And they should not be able to get away with something that no other country in the world can get away with. And by the way, they're hardly a lesser developed country at this point. So all I'm saying in that piece is join the Council of Nations, China. Stop trying to have a bipolar world where you're having a Cold War against the United States. That doesn't help anyone. No more globalism on our side, though, because we cannot fund their hegemony. That's the thing. That's like funding the Soviet Union in an arms race against us. So I'm calling for a more sane world. I want to turn the clock back. Maybe some people think you can't. I want real trade, not the $500 billion that we do versus, say, the $150 billion that they take, and that's an overestimation probably. And they don't realize that we have a government that is not playing in the interest of American business because they don't need to. Business is doing well, and not globalists. This is, if there's ever a time to really battle the Chinese, it is now. And that's what I think people should recognize. But these Xi lovers in our country, I have to question, what are they reading? What are they looking at? And I know that there's a tremendous effort to discredit Peter Navarro. I don't share that effort. I think that Peter Navarro understands, as does Lighthizer, this moment in time. We do not want this to be denigrated to a Cold War. And if they come to the peace table with good things, we'll avoid a Cold War. Tariffs aren't good, but Cold War's real bad.
Let's talk about Starbucks, which is our real money stock of the day. And Starbucks' relationship with China.
Great.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to ask.
I mean, like Kevin, old friend, admittedly. They had -2 in terms of traffic. Now they're teamed up with Alibaba. The company had decent numbers in China, but it was really U.S. And I've been waiting for U.S. to come around. Now let's understand that Starbucks trades on U.S. still, because China used to be +8, and Starbucks stock went down. But now, through artificial intelligence, as he talked about, the call was not nearly as good, frankly, as our interview. Maybe we do more work. I don't know. But I do think that the United States is turned. Kevin's doing a remarkable job. And if China turns, which people think it has to, this stock blows right through to 72. So it's still a buy. I've liked it since 52, 53. I'm not changing my view one bit.
Okay, and so this is something that I'm really curious about, and I kind of want to get your ideas on this. So I've been interviewing a lot of CBD executives, and I want to know the difference between CBD companies and companies that focus, like Canopy Growth, on recreational / medicinal marijuana.
CBD, which can be gotten from hemp or can be gotten from cannabis, from pod, it's got many, many uses, and because of the McConnell and some other farmer states, McConnell pushed the farm states, we have hemp as national, but we also have marijuana as class 1 felony. So the problem is that people are afraid, there's some people who are afraid of CBD, lest someone find out that it's from marijuana and not from hemp. So there's tremendous confusion. I think that Kevin was also expressing that today when I said, listen, can we get some cannabis drinks? Now, what I think will happen is that Canopy will very specifically make it clear that it's hemp, versus, in California you can do it, doesn't matter. But we have a tremendous craziness in this country where the federal government is allowing CBD from hemp, but prosecuting CBD if it comes from cannabis. And not THC, but cannabis, actually, anything other than the cannabinoid that we get from GW Pharma. So it is such a web of confusion that people can't figure it out. But they know they can do anything in California and in Washington, in Oregon and Colorado, and soon maybe New York. And so we have to figure out, it's a patchwork, but a lot of companies are very afraid. They're afraid, the Pepsis, obviously Starbucks, Coca-Cola, they want it sorted out so that there's no ambiguity. Right now there's tremendous ambiguity. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure it out, and I do know Canopy's going to have unbelievable drinks. Remember, Canopy, the medical side is going to be run by Canopy. The taste side is going to be run by Constellation. Constellation has a tremendous network. Constellation stock is down very much, but people should understand that when you talk cannabis, you're really talking Canopy. They really have it down.
Okay.
Second is Kronos.
So to wrap up this video, there's one question that I think is so important for financial literacy, and that is your 3-year investment plan and the 3-year investment cycle. So I'm wondering, over on AAP you talk about this a lot. Can you explain for our street viewers what a 3-year investment cycle is and how it pertains to Facebook?
I mean, look, we're just looking, we're trying to think long term, but we're also recognizing that there's some businesses that have that cycle. We're actually in the 3rd year of a lot of them. All I can tell you is, as you watch the Action Alerts videos, is that we're not day trading. That's an actually decent period for your. By the way, we're doing curation now on the weekend, which I think is terrific. It's just a revolutionary.
On the weekly roundup.
The weekly roundup, which is terrific. Maybe work in some of the 3-year cycle, but let's understand that where we are right now. Let's take Western Digital. Okay, Western Digital did not blow up last night, so the shorts cover because they thought that maybe the dividend will be cut. The longs buy. It has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with us whatsoever. That's a trade. We tried it. We made a lot of money, but we don't look for trades. We want an investment cycle, and people should stay tuned when we get it right.
All right, and I just want to say before we wrap up that you guys should check out, if you're a member, the new Action Alerts Plus roundup, which you just talked about.
Oh no, it's terrific. Look, we make changes every day for you, and I have to tell you, I've never seen a product be this good. I've been doing it since 2002.
All right, so I want to talk to you more about FANG, but we're going to have to hold that for Action Alerts Plus because we got and earnings next week. It's going to be wild.
Big.
Oh my God. Okay, so thanks for joining us, guys. We got to hurry on and go to our Action Alerts Plus video. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.